show. I'm Manny.
I'm Terrence.
And here are the goods. All right, so we start the show with James Bond news.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So Daniel Craig just did Spectre. Pretty big show. Pretty big.
Complained about it the whole.
Complained about it the whole time, but it made money. It made a crap load of money
because they're still James Bond fans.
Yeah, exactly. And but he, just like Terrence said, he freaking just dogged the franchise. Wasn't really into it anymore. And yet they still want him to be James Bond. Now they've offered about $100 million money. I get $100 million. Kind of. I guess that's like
over multiple films, because that's not even Robert Downey money. Robert gets 50.
I think it's like for the span of the whole for the rest of his deal that he has, because I think he's got 2 more movies or 3 more movies.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Right. So it's about $100 million around there. So you know that's a pretty good freaking amount of money.
I mean, he reinvigorated the franchise, and you know he's like one of the most, outside of Sean Connery, the most beloved James Bond there is right now. So
I like Roger Moore.
Pierce Brosnan.
And Pierce Brosnan. That's another one. He's freaking awesome. Anyway, so his movie.
So he's 4th on the list.
Yeah. So his top 5.
Top five James Bonds.
So his movies have grossed $3 billion worldwide. Now I'm talking from Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace. Was it Skyfall?
Skyfall. Yeah.
And now Spectre. So
he's done a trilogy. Yeah.
Yeah. So $3 billion. Now his version, his take on this,
more serious, a little bit more.
Yeah, and, you know, and then he's all diesel.
Yeah.
And freaking, you know, he was on that Mars diet and that Martian diet that freaking Matt Damon was on. So he. You know, he like you said, he brought a freshness to the character, right. With the help of Sam Mendes, who did, I believe he did Skyfall and Spectre, and he's I think he's an Academy Award-winning director for
Skyfall, Spectre, Casino Royale, Quantum Science.
American Beauty.
4. I'm sorry.
I think didn't Sam Mendes do American Beauty?
You got me on
that. I'm not too sure. We have to red ink that one. But anyway, so those movies, you know, pretty much his franchise single-handedly took MGM out of bankruptcy.
Really?
Slowly, yeah. It slowly took them out of bankruptcy. So you can understand why it means so much to the studio to have him come back.
Of course.
Now, obviously, it's going to take a little bit more. Now, he was hurt during fight scene with Dave Bautista in Spectre, and he, in his real life, has not really recovered since. Has not been the same since that injury.
So maybe they should really just kind of take a break. You know, make the next James Bond movie maybe a couple years from now, not like 2 years, get another movie out, maybe push it off to maybe 3, 4, give him a little break to get rest, kind of get his mind back, and then let him go ahead and do another movie. I'm sure after some time he'll actually feel better about doing it, because really, Daniel Craig, you did The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and
yeah, that's a good movie. You don't like that movie?
All right. How many people? You know what? Nobody saw the movie because they never did the other 2. That's how few people saw that movie. So this is how I feel. I feel about him, how I feel about Jennifer Lawrence, and how I feel about Robert Downey Jr. These movies made you guys blow up. And then the minute you get some super fame with it, it's like, I don't want to do it anymore. And then you go and do movies like The Judge, or what was the movie that Jennifer Lawrence was in?
Well, first of all, hold on one second. Hunger Games brought Jennifer Lawrence to fame, not X-Men. That's 1.
Okay.
2. Robert Downey Jr. did Sherlock Holmes.
No.
And
so what do we know him for? Do we know him for Sherlock Holmes, or do we know him for?
But I'm talking about outside of Marvel, outside of comics. He did, and he's going to be doing Sherlock Holmes 3 pretty soon. Sherlock Holmes 1 and 2 made some pretty good money. He's kind of almost like an exception to the rule, because he's an extremely gifted actor.
Okay.
Jennifer Lawrence, maybe only because I know she won an Academy Award for freaking Silver Linings Playbook, but.
She also get one for
American Hustle.
Thank you.
Yeah. She was amazing in that. But anyway, so I see your point. Daniel Craig, you know, he does have his options. He is not.
Tell me what else he's going to do besides this.
Well, that's what he's not as. There's something about the other 2 that can carry over in other franchises or in other movies.
Robert Downey tried to.
Daniel Craig is just like, you know, he's like you said, you know, I mean, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo was very, you know, he was just.
It was a remake.
Defiance? What about Defiance? You didn't like Defiance?
Who saw that?
Alrighty then. Well, anyway, so it's still.
Name those 3 people that saw that film.
It's still in the air on whether or not he's going to continue with the Bond franchise. Right now, Tom Hiddleston, Loki himself, is interested in getting the role. He's got the look he cleans up very well, so he's got the look. he's just very thin to, in my opinion, he's like really too thin to be.
Back to Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Daniel Craig wasn't always Daniel Craig wasn't always Diesel. He was pretty small. Once again, Hugh Jackman wasn't always Diesel. He started off pretty small. All you gotta do is bulk him up. And if you see the test videos for Hiddleston when he was trying out for Thor, he got pretty ripped for that.
Let's get Matt Damon to train him.
I mean, but Hiddleston's, what's funny is that we've been talking about, since Daniel Craig's been complaining about doing Bond, we've been talking about like who should actually fill in the role, because they really could cut ties. We've all accepted Bond being somebody after so many movies. So I mean, Daniel Craig can talk all the crap he wants to. We have no problem. There's not going to be a backlash saying like, oh, you got to keep Daniel Craig. We're already conditioned to have a new Bond after so much time has gone past. So outside of Tom Hiddleston, you know, we have Idris Elba out in the running, or at least his name's been thrown around. Who else could be up?
Hugh Jackman has also wanted to, was interested in that role. He's already Wolverine. I get it. But
I can see Loki. I can give up Loki.
What about Hardy?
Tom Hardy.
I know he's going to be in the Marvel universe.
But he's Australian.
No, he's not in the Marvel universe. He's in something. He's in DC. He's in DC now. That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, but I was like, he's Australian. He's not really British.
Well, I mean, that's why he's an actor. They get trained on the dialogue.
Oh, then again, neither was Sean Connery. He was Scottish.
That's very
so true. I just made my own.
Yeah. So you know, Hiddleston has not gotten the James Bond role yet. He's really trying to get it. But one role he has not let go of is Loki.
Right.
Now Loki makes his final appearance in the Marvel universe, at least for now anyway, in the next Thor, Ragnarok, which has gotten some casting news with Jeff Goldblum.
Yes. Interesting.
Carl Urban.
All right.
Kate Blanchett. And Creed's own Tessa Thompson, who was brought in to be a love interest for Thor. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know what happened to Natalie Portman.
She doesn't want to do the films anymore.
She Black Swanned it out, I guess. I don't know.
She was complaining since Thor 2. She didn't want to do Thor 2. They made her, because she was under contract. They made her do that movie.
So she complained about Marvel Universe. She complains about Star Wars.
But she wants money.
But she does. Jane's Got a Gun. Yeah.
I think those smaller films, because they feel like they can get awards off these smaller films, and plus with these smaller films to have such a big name in it, they get money off the back end. If the film does well, you know, look how much freaking Ryan Reynolds got off of Deadpool. Yeah. So
in the second go round,
yeah,
I know he made a decent amount for the first one, but for the
yeah, but no, they gave him points off the back end in this movie. It's like he didn't just like, oh, I just got a small check to do the small film, and it was like, oh, I make money on the second movie. He made money on the first film too. He just didn't get it in the check that they signed for him to do it. He got money off points, but I think they do that just because they feel like, you know, it'll blow up and I can have my own instead of being a part of something. But and then, like I said, the whole thing was like, oh, if it's a smaller project, maybe I'll get an award out of it, or at least nominations. Because even though they take this hit, if they get win an award, if they win an Oscar or something, man, they get to charge whatever they want for any type of role after that. As an Oscar award winner, you can charge whatever you want.
But at the same time, don't sell these characters short just because they're in a comic world. That you can't take those roles for granted regardless. I mean,
no, look how popular
Heath Ledger got an Oscar for playing the Joker. So you can't just disregard comic book characters just because they're in a comic. So but as far as the storyline is concerned, I mean, everybody's saying, well, what happened to Jane? What happened to... Well, the writers or producers were pretty much, they came out and said that, well, Jane can't breathe in space.
That's awesome.
So let's go with Tessa Thompson, who's basically in that world.
I feel bad for the girl who plays Lady Sif, because Lady Sif was also a love interest for Thor, but they've never played that out. She's had such a small role, and I didn't think they were going to carry Natalie Portman as far as they did. I thought she was just going to be like in the first movie, and they were going to move on to Lady Sif, but they kept her on. So her character is also going to be pushed out even further, because obviously, like you said, the love interest with Tessa Thompson is Valkyrie. But I don't know the other two characters that well. I'm not a big Thor person. I do know that Carl Urban's going to be the Executioner, and Jeff Goldblum is going to be he's going to be Grandmaster, which is related somehow in relation to a brother of
Drax.
No, it Collector? Was. Thank you, the Collector. Funny. All right.
So,
and then you're gonna mention Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett is Hela. She's Hela. We talked about that previous episode that she's playing Hela. So, you know what? Portman was an Academy Award winner. Kate Blanchett's an Academy Award winner. So you know what? These properties are, they deserve this high profile. Great actors. I mean, Benedict Cumberbatch is freaking Doctor Strange. So, you know what?
I think
good luck, Natalie. I hope everything works out.
But people that started early in these films are putting their nose up to these movies, but everybody else, the rest of Hollywood's looking at how much of a great potential this is to be in these films.
Don't be surprised if you see Leo in one pretty soon. Don't be surprised.
I don't think Leo will do it.
Leo,
if he does it,
Leo, Mr. Fantastic.
If he does it, their whole budget will be gone to pay Leo because that dude can ask for whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's just freaking amazing. Well, Mark Ruffalo stated that you can expect a bigger Hulk.
Okay.
And you can expect bigger and better villains. In Thor. So
the whole thing really doesn't bother me. It's a good movie.
With this being your holiday road trip. Type of a buddy type movie with Hulk and Thor. He's gonna play a bigger part. Whether or not it spins off to Planet Hulk, I don't know. Guardians of the Galaxy is somehow gonna probably tie into this. I wouldn't be surprised. Okay. All of this is gonna tie into Infinity War. Okay. Which they've just released that they're gonna pretty much start shooting this year, I believe. Right. For Infinity War. And speaking of Guardians of the Galaxy, the Guardians will actually show up in one of the Infinity Wars. Right. That's also been stated. So, regardless, Thor comes out. It's part of Phase 3. It'll come out this November or next November.
I gotta check on the dates. I'll put them up on screen.
I think it's this November.
I'll put them up on screen.
So I don't know, but
they moved some of the dates around, and I really don't remember.
Yeah, it does come out pretty soon, but it is part of Phase 3. So look out for that. Right. You can see Thor though in the theaters, and I don't mean the Huntsman because that did nothing. I feel bad for him because Hemsworth, he's underrated in all honesty.
I think he's
an underrated actor, to be honest with you.
No, he is. He has a great charisma on screen. He does comedy well. He does action well. I haven't seen him in anything dramatic. So
Vacation, the remake of Vacation, he was hilarious in that movie. But if you have the time, you need to check out In the Heart of the Sea, directed by Ron Howard.
That was his dramatic role.
Was awesome.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, as long as he's with Ron Howard, he can do drama because he was awesome in The Heart of the Sea. But you'll get to see him this summer in the new Ghostbusters, your favorite, in the new Ghostbusters movie. Now, this movie's gotten a freaking crapload of freaking flack for the first trailer that completely, threw everybody off by saying 30 years ago, 4 scientists and all this other, trying to connect it, which has nothing to do with it.
No.
So, you saw how the backlash was. I mean, you were like really vocal about it. And then the second trailer, which was actually a little bit better. I mean, the second trailer was a little bit better. Some of the lines were kind of corny. I think Leslie Jones is a little too much. I think she's a great comedian. I love her on Saturday Night Live, but I think the way Paul Feig is directing her, it's a little too much. It's too Weekend Update-ish.
So that's actually pretty good. It's they're typecasting her, and
exactly. And
they could have made her. She could have been more reserved in this film. I mean, if they're truly playing on the whole thing with gender swapping Hemsworth as Janine and the Bill Murray character, Dan Aykroyd's character, and Ernie Hudson's character, and keeping those type of same roles. Winston Zeddemore was mellow guy, and it's like we didn't have to play her up so big.
But there was a lot of things about
boisterous.
The way Ernie Hudson played him was like. You're right. He was very mellow, very reserved, and he kind of like, hey man, we need to think about this.
He was the voice of reason in it.
Crazy white folks.
Yeah, he was the voice. He was like, hey, he was the audience character when they were doing all the sciencey stuff, and he was like, hey. He sees it the way we saw it, and she is just kind of like over the top screaming black woman, which I hate that stereotype in movies, and that's why a lot of people did not like this. Yeah, and it was like,
the second trailer you got to see a lot of the effects. I dig the effects. I really do like the effects.
I don't like the effects at all. You know why? Because it looks like Haunted Mansion. It looks like Haunted Mansion Ghost.
But if you look at the practicalness of Ghostbusters originally and Ghostbusters 2.
We're in the age of practical effects.
I know, and I like them. Don't get me wrong, I like them. But just the amount of things that you can do with CGI and with ghosts. It's pretty cool. I kind of like it. I kind of like the way the effects look. And then Hemsworth, you brought up Hemsworth. Now in the movie, it looks like he gets possessed.
Okay.
So if he does in fact get possessed, is he a combination of Tully and Janine?
Yeah.
That's her name, right? Janine? Or
Yeah.
Janine? Yeah, right.
No, it was Janine and then
And Tully, and Louis Tully.
Louis Tully?
Rick
Rick
Moranis'
Moranis' character.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about
Ernie Hudson?
no. Bill Murray's girlfriend in the movie.
Oh, Dana Barrett.
Yeah, Dana Barrett. That's what.
That's Wade Barrett's sister.
I was still thinking about. So actually, he would be a combination of all three characters then.
Maybe, yeah,
Because they haven't introduced any other main characers for them, so
they haven't even shown any male love interest on anyone.
no, they may not even do that.
They might not even do that. But anyway, you also got a glimpse of the main villain, which is a big ghost / marshmallow man. I have no idea what the hell that thing is.
So everybody thought it was the Marshmallow Man, but I heard somebody actually make a good comment about it. Maybe it's the ghost from the logo. Because he kind of had like a little pointy head.
Yeah.
And it was like, maybe it's the ghost from the logo. The only thing is like he had a bow tie, so unless their Stay Puft Marshmallow Man looks like a ghost.
Well, this is a reimagining, so you never know.
I don't know. It's weird, and they shouldn't have done it. To be honest, I think that was a bad play for them to go. If they're gonna change it, and do something different, then go all the way different. Give us a different monster. It's a ghost. We don't care what ghost you put on the screen. And if you're gonna do Marshmallow Man, then freaking do Marshmallow Man. Don't be trying to change Marshmallow Man.
I mean, you brought back Slimer.
Yeah.
Why not bring the other ones back? So Paul Feig came out and he talked about the amount of hate and everything about the first trailer that the movie got, and he's trying to really defend it, but basically he's throwing the finger at everybody, like, you know what, we got 60 million hits, screw y'all, so we got what I wanted.
Yeah, how many dislikes did they get on that same video? The only thing about it,
and they're still watching it.
And they're still okay. Yeah, people are gonna go see it. You're right. People are absolutely going to see it. They're going to go hate watch it. But what's going to happen is that if you want to try to make this into a franchise, nobody's going to see the second one. Nobody's going to see the second one. It's just going to crash and burn. It's not going to do anything. And it's only going to have a short run. Just like people started hate watching BVS, where it's like everybody went to go see it that first week and it started nosediving after that.
Bad.
So, I mean, yeah, it's going to make a lot of money. I don't know how much the budget is on this particular film. Right off the bat, hopefully you guys make it in the first week. Because if the movie is the way it's looking in the trailers, it's not going to do well.
And you know what, I started thinking about it, and you guys blame Bill Murray.
Because of how long he stalled out Ghostbusters 3?
If he wouldn't have stalled out, and if he would have forget, and they would have done it a long time ago. They would have probably done it before Harold Ramis passed.
It would have been the script from the video game.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. That would have been awesome. And if they would have had the original idea of having Jonah Hill and Emma Stone and these guys play their kids and introduced the new Ghostbusters, that would have been awesome.
I would have liked this cast, including Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum.
Well, they're doing MIB 23 now.
I know, but they also talked about doing in this connected universe of doing their own Ghostbusters as well, and somehow connecting the Ghostbuster universe.
Well, Sony does own both properties, so
I would have liked that they had mixed them in here somehow, and it was like that would have somehow broken it. Because I think what everybody.
Why Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill?
Because I love them. I love them together. But anyway.
All right, well, whatever. You might love them, but I don't know. I think they have enough on their plate with this friggin' crossover of MIB and 23 Jump Street now. But either way, so if you don't really like that kind of a movie and you still want to stay with the comics, hey, Apocalypse is out, and from what I understand, it's got friggin' Blockbuster written all over it. Mm-hmm. It's in the same timeline, pretty much. It's part of this new trilogy with First Class, Days of Future Past, and now this one. Uh-huh. And it's gotten a lot of mixed reviews, actually.
I feel BVS all over again. Because
as far as the hype,
the hype, two, the early reviews were really mixed with BVS. Mm-hmm. So it makes me really scared about what we're gonna get. A lot of people have been saying that Jennifer Lawrence, that she kind of she was sleepwalking through her role in this film.
Well, let's talk about that, Terrence.
That the new X-Men didn't have a lot of screen time, or they felt like they were just kind of pointless.
Actually, they're saying that. I mean, there's some truth to that, but they're also saying that there's just too many mutants.
It's an X-Men movie.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like too many. It's a
whole team of X-Men.
I know.
Have you ever read an X-Men comic book?
I understand, but this is what I guess the writers that wrote these reviews maybe aren't used to that because of the past.
Did they not just see Civil War?
Anyway,
the Civil War had 15 characters in it.
Well, either way, real quick though, I want to go back to the Jennifer Lawrence thing.
And then I'm still thinking.
Now we have been talking about, and we've mentioned it in past shows regarding the actors thinking they're bigger than the characters, and I can't freaking stand it. Can you guys please just learn from Ryan Reynolds? Learn from freaking Robert Downey Jr. and accept it. Now, maybe not Iron Man 3, but I would put that on Shane Black. Anyway, but learn from Ryan Reynolds because he understands that the character is more important than the actor, and if, just because you can't see them, that doesn't mean they're not in there. And Jennifer Lawrence, and I love her to death, but that was just the way she's taken on Mystique. If you don't want to do the role, then let's give it back to freaking Rebecca Romijn. And
she's under contract, so she had to do.
I know, but I'm just saying that she's in the makeup, so
yeah, no, right?
But
and Mystique, one of the funny things about it is that I wouldn't, because they really like the Mystique character and how they built her up in this universe. I wouldn't be surprised if they recast her, even though she says that if they pay me, I'll come back and I'll come do more films.
But she's coming back as Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, I know. But
I'm tired of seeing that.
You can definitely. That's the one X-Men character you can definitely recast because she's a shapeshifter. So who cares? She can be whoever. It's just like, I got tired of being a blonde. This time I want to be whatever. So
right, I want to be an old broad like Rebecca Romijn.
And plus, we're going through the timeline anyway, so we're about to get back around to Rebecca Romijn's. I keep always want to say Rebecca Romijn Stamos, but we're almost getting back to her age anyway. So cast an older actress.
Yeah, but that's one of the knocks on me for that. I mean, even the promo art and the posters and stuff, she's herself.
Yeah,
I wanted to get a blue because I have the standee and I want to get a blue marker and I'm just gonna write her
because I think some of the things that she said she didn't like being in the makeup all the time.
Well,
it's tough crap. Sorry. And Jim Carrey didn't like being in the makeup for the Grinch either. And you know what happens? He didn't do another movie. He didn't do another Grinch movie.
Yeah, there's another Grinch movie coming out.
And he got Jim Carrey in it, because he don't want to do it.
So the movie opened internationally already to $103.3 million already, and that's internationally. Now, I'm not too sure what the budget was on that, but it's going to make its money back
yeah.
So especially
the budget was around $200 million.
Especially with the opening domestically on Memorial Day weekend, Captain Civil War's already died down a little bit. Neighbors is pretty much going to probably round out the top 5.
Was an okay film.
Angry Birds will be a strong competitor for this role because the kids are out of school. But I think it's going to be a really tight race between Angry Birds and Apocalypse, with Apocalypse edging it out a little bit.
Man, that would be heartbreaking if Angry Birds in the second week beats Apocalypse.
That would be hilarious.
I don't want anything to damage the comic book. This whole
dominance.
Yeah, well, not even dominance, just that because if they start coming in number 2 in opening week and stuff like that, then they're gonna be like, superhero fatigue, and then they're gonna start cutting back superhero movies. We're in the prime of comic book movies. Well, we're getting good comic book movies. We're getting a lot of comic book movies. I want to see them all do well so we can keep getting them and they can keep expanding and doing more characters. If not, we're gonna go back to just doing Spider-Man and Batman movies. That's all we're gonna get.
Keep that fresh in your mind. Oscar Isaac, who plays Apocalypse, is also getting a little bit of a flack for his performance. Now he's under a lot of makeup. You can't even recognize that that's him under there. But there's a lot of he can't really be the character as much as because he's a very gifted actor.
Right.
If you want to test it, go check out friggin' Ex Machina. Yeah. But I guess the makeup and all that's just a little too much. I mean, he does it. He pulls through, but
can't get all
a lot of people.
Expressions.
Yeah, and a lot of people are talking about that as far as in their reviews. They're talking about Oscar Isaac's portrayal of Apocalypse. So, but either way, I'm gonna go see it. So it doesn't matter. I can't freaking wait.
I love X-Men movies. So.
Michael Fassbender back as Magneto and leading the 4 Horsemen up against McAvoy and the one little hair that Terrence likes.
The one in his eyebrow. One in his eyebrow that somebody forgot to cut.
But Fassbender was also recently seen in the Assassin's Creed trailer.
Yeah.
And if you have not seen his trailer, go check it out because it is freaking awesome. Now, I'm not a big fan of the video game, but this movie looks amazing.
Yeah.
The effects are great. The fight choreography looks really good. The action sequences look awesome. So, Terrence, what'd you think about that?
I mean, I actually have never played an Assassin's Creed game. I'm aware of the story with them, the ancestors and going through memories and the whole little machine and stuff like that. I always thought the story of the video game just didn't make, and I know I'm saying this, I was like, it was too hard for me to believe that story. So I never played the video game, even though it spawned this huge, massive franchise. So, but seeing actually it probably works out better for me because I have have no preset thing that in my head about the video game, so I get to watch.
So it's like a fresh. You walk in there fresh.
Whatever they show me is what I'm going to accept. So I'm not going to be like, oh, they did that. Oh, like I do with all most comic book movies. So this video game movie, since I never played a video game, I'm probably going to enjoy it more than somebody who actually is a big fan of the video game. So. Yeah.
And I played it a few times, and I really couldn't get into it. Kind of like Fallout. I couldn't get into Fallout 2, where you're the baby, and then you forget it. Anyway, so this is really takes the whole video game movies out from like hiatus, because I haven't really seen a good video game movie in a while. And
Mortal Kombat.
Hey, that was a good one though. Reptile, Johnny Cage fight. Awesome.
There you go. Oh God, that was the most awesome fight of them.
But was it Johnny Cage? No, it was Liu Kang.
It was Liu Kang.
But the Assassin's Creed, movie coming out. Alicia Vikander just got hired to be Lara Croft, taking over Angelina Jolie in Tomb Raider.
Wow, you're right.
So you've got these movies that are making a comeback. Now, you just talked about comic books being at their prime, but now you got these properties, because there's some really good storytelling in these video games, and you're more of a gamer than I am, so you know that there's a lot of potential video games out there that need to be seen on the screen, and a little bit more with a little bit effects and a little bit more depth as far as the storytelling and all that, which those developers are doing a really freaking awesome job with some of these things,
because now video games have more story to them than they used to have back in the day when we played video games in our heyday playing video games. Because before it was just like, oh, shoot something, blow something up, get to the finish line,
and up, down, up, down.
Yeah, so that's all we had to do. So, but now you have to tell so much of a story that now these games are worthy of becoming actual film franchises. So
yeah. So do you see video game properties taking over?
We need
and kicking comic books to the side.
If Warcraft is good, if Assassin's Creed is good, and then whenever they get around to actually getting that Uncharted film underway, if they do those and those all do well, then yeah, I say that. Well, at least it'll come neck and neck, depending on how, because we'll be phase 5 or 6 by the time we really get going with video game movies. If those do well, then it'll blow up just like comic books.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, there's a lot more properties out there, like God of War, like Final Fantasy, Devil May Cry, tons.
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us. That's great storytelling right there. So yeah, absolutely. And even Injustice, the way they did Injustice and Mortal Kombat. When am I going to see another Mortal Kombat movie? That's a reboot of Mortal Kombat. That's the one.
Did you see the second one?
It had potential. Like when you first, and then when you see it, it's like worse than Batman and Robin. So, which will never be on You Don't Hate. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Maybe.
No, hell no. So
I find redeeming factors to it. But go ahead.
So it's time for some Holly weird news / celebrity news.
All right.
Okay. Now, BBS that you mentioned. When you were talking about BBS, it was hilarious. But there was a screening in the UK, and a couple was actually thrown out for having sex during Batman vs Superman.
What?
Yeah.
What's sexy about that movie?
Well, is it the fighting? Is it
nothing?
Ben Affleck's grunts? Is it
his brooding face?
Is it Henry,
Martha?
Is it
why do you say that name?
Is it Henry Cavill's whininess that's sexy? Wonder Woman? That would have done it for me.
Possibly.
So this couple was they were going at it, going to town, and they busted them, and the usher comes out, and
was he wearing a Batman outfit?
The employee, no, swear to me. So the employee goes and he asks to stop whatever, and the guy gets punched. The freaking dude stops doing the do, punches the dude, probably with freaking free balling at the same time, and so the cops are called. They take him out and they haul him to jail.
Did he punch him and then keep going?
How do you get donkey punched without the?
I don't know how you don't see that punch coming. I was like, or maybe he was trying to shield his eyes from what was going on, and then he got hit. But dude, you can't even hide that.
So he was having sex with the girlfriend, but the usher got donkey punched. So that's pretty freaking hilarious. Well, it happened in the UK. So
UK.
The UK, because you's okay. Cause that's hilarious. That's freaking funny. So the guy gets charged with freaking indecentcy in the public, and he gets charged with assault.
Wow.
With a deadly weapon? No. All right.
I see what you did there.
Now, I don't even know what's worse, is them actually having sex in the theater, or is Batman that bad? Were they that bored with that movie?
This movie sucks.
Yeah. All right. So
Crazy.
Last week, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had their premiere at the New York for Out of the Shadows. They had a New York premiere and a surprise freaking visit by Vanilla Ice, who performed Go Ninja, Go Ninja, Go Ninja Rap.
How's that a surprise?
Because nobody expected him to show. He just showed up.
He just showed up with a mic and some dancers?
Yeah, choreography and everything. And
they did a little kick when they were like turning to the side.
Well, the original Turtles with the getup.
Okay, that's planned. Probably planned.
But it was not planned for the audience, and the audience were like, they loved it. It was awesome.
I would have loved it. I
would have loved to see Vanilla Ice do that crap again. That would have been freaking awesome. That crap? That's all messed up. But anyway, so that's actually pretty cool celebrity news there. And Tyrese released a video begging Michael Bay to put him in Transformers 5.
Because he was like, I didn't make enough movie from Fast Furious 7?
He's doing Fast 8.
Yeah.
Okay? He's more than likely going to be in the studio again with Tank and Genuine for the TGT, the next follow-up, because their freaking album is amazing. And, I'm pretty sure that he's got some other property he's going to come up. He's trying to go Green Lantern.
He's trying to be Green Lantern as well, but maybe he was like, you put my boy in the film and you're not going to add me too? Come on!
Yeah, well, he was in the first 3 Transformers as Epps.
Yeah.
And obviously, complete reboot of the whole thing in Age of Extinction.
I don't even know if you call that a reboot. It's just...
That's what I said. I think it was just
an episode without Sam.
It was an episode. Yeah. Because the way it looks like it right now, Transformers 5, we talked about it last time, is potentially a reunion type movie where possibly Shia and Megan might be back for this, and if they're back, you can bet your butt that freaking Tyrese will be back also, even if it's a freaking brief cameo. But he I'm pretty sure that they will find a way to put him in there.
I think Shia and Megan aside, because I don't think Megan's gonna come back, and I damn sure know Shia ain't coming back, but I think he should be in there because if they're looking to do the whole G.I. Joe thing with Transformers later on in their whole interconnected universe thing, I mean, he's a soldier. Why wouldn't you already have casted, you have cast soldiers already who established, unless they want to distance themselves from the first 3. But no, you said that, what's his name was coming back?
Josh Duhamel.
Yeah, so he's coming back. So if you bring him back, then they're all connected now. So it's not a reboot anymore. So at that point, then I understand his thing. And it was like, why would you ask him back and not ask me back? We were both soldiers. We both didn't die in the films. So why can't I come back?
So would you bring him back, kill him in the first thing?
You know what? I can see that happening. It was like, because we got a black guy. We really want you here. Gonna die.
Oh my goodness! All right, don't get started on that.
Hashtag Tyrese dies.
Later Epps.
Hashtag Epps dies.
Epps dies. There you go. Well, hey. Either way,
they killed Will Smith, man.
I would love to have him back. I would like to have Shia back, and then just freaking bring everybody together to finish off this version of the Transformers.
It'd be the Transformers reunion.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. T5 the reunion.
The last night reunion.
Question mark. Yeah. So we talked about Ghostbusters, the remakes, and stuff like that. And remakes, are hit and miss. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. You got your really good ones, and then you got your freaking horrible ones, like the freaking Omen. I can't stand that damn remake. That remake was horrible. And Halloween 2, Zombie. What the hell are you thinking? The first freaking 15 minutes was awesome, and after that goes to crap.
Wasn't that bad?
It's time for our top 5. So our top 5 today is bad movies that actually deserve a remake.
Okay.
Now I threw that up there, and I threw some other good ones up there from the poll on Twitter, and you guys voted for this one. I really thought somebody would do arcade movies, but I guess not.
That's our integrity, because we didn't really want to do this category, but we're doing it for you. We're doing it for you.
So, Terrence, go first.
All right, so I was totally against this category because bad movies don't deserve to be remade.
Not necessarily. That's not necessarily true.
They don't deserve to be remade. I think they should die and whatever happened to them, and I think that we should come up with different ideas, and if it's similar in some way, that's fine, but it does not have to be a remake of whatever the piece of crap was out there to begin with. Now, my top 5. Number 5. Transformers, the piece of crap that it was.
The first one?
All of them.
Dark of the Moon was good.
All of them. All of them.
Wow.
I don't even have words for this.
Well, that's what the last night is. It's the last night of those bad Transformers movies.
There you go. All of them. Let's just start fresh. Give me a brand new one. Heck, give me another animated one. I would be all right with that. After playing the whole new Transformers game out there, when they did the cell shading, they give you the whole 1980s or 85 animation. It was like, that's what we want to see. We don't want to see these overcomplicated Transformers that Michael Bay keeps throwing up on screen. You know what? Give me a Transformers film without Michael Bay. I don't know. He makes $1 billion. Okay, I'm on a rant. I'm on a Transformer rant. I'm done with that. No more. Catwoman.
That's actually good.
Because as a solo film, it just didn't pan out. You know, I love Halle Berry. She's a great actress. Just what they did with that story and the character just didn't work. And I think the character itself is iconic enough, especially with the announcement of Harley Quinn having her own solo film. Catwoman needs one. I mean, do it right, do it good. And so it brings me to number three. So I'm gonna not go a bunch of superhero films with this and say, you know, all the bad superhero films need remakes.
Just Transformers.
Yeah, just Transformers. All right. But I wanted to go a little back to my childhood, and one movie that I never really got, but it actually went on and made a franchise. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And I think
But that wasn't a bad movie. That was a good movie.
says you.
All right.
Says you. And probably everybody else that went to go see that movie except me.
Awesome. I like that movie.
I mean, I didn't really get it. It wasn't, and it was like, you know, for the time, I guess the CGI was great with the perspective.
Honey, I need a remake.
And you know, Honey, I need a remake. But anyway, technology after seeing Hobbit films and you know what they can do now, even going back to practical effects, since we're now back in the age of practical effects, they can do it kind of like what they did now, but better, because now they can mix in CG to make it a little bit more real, more lifelike. The bugs don't have to look weird like they looked in the movie. Anyway,
Number two.
Super Mario Brothers.
Well, they're doing the animated.
They haven't specifically said they're doing a Super Mario Brothers film, so I can leave it to Nintendo just to do other characters and not do Super Mario Brothers. Do Super Mario Brothers. Give me a live action Super Mario Brothers.
Will Christopher Nolan direct the reimagining of Super Mario Brothers?
That would be awesome. In a real world, a Christopher Nolan world, an Inception, Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan world.
Plumbers.
Super Mario Brothers.
The plumbers save New York.
They won't be these weird dragon lizard type deal thingies.
With the small heads.
Those were supposed to be Goombas. Did you know that?
That's awful. Dennis Hopper. What did you do?
Dennis Hopper as Bowser.
Yeah.
Or was he King Koopa in this one? Because you know they had the change between King Koopa. No, I think he was King Koopa.
Well, he was Snoozer to me.
Before they called him Bowser.
He was Snoozer to me because that put me to sleep.
Oh man.
But I love you, Legs.
John Leguizamo.
Love you, Legs. You're still the best. I just bought Ghetto Clown. It's amazing.
It needs another live action film. I think we could do a better job than what we did, because hell, that was like 30 years ago that film came out. We can do a way better job now. Nintendo, let them make another live action film. Number one, Sucker Punch. That movie had a lot of potential to be good.
That's a good
But
one.
it was so bad. It was so bad.
Yeah.
And if we take all the CGI parts where the action scene...
Actually, just the action sequence, the whole fantasy world.
If we
awesome.
take the fantasy world and splice it together into one film,
it's amazing.
For like 30 minutes of what it was, that's an awesome film. That other crap was boring, confusing. We didn't know what, because they kept changing the story and changing the reality. I mean, like, with the backstory just was all over the place. I'm sorry, it sucked so bad. And I don't hate movies, and I don't hate this movie because it had 30 minutes of good stuff to it, but it needs a remake, and please do it now.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Emily Browning. That was hotness right there. But anyway, all right. Well, that's some pretty good ones. I forgot all about Sucker Punch, but
Sucker Punch.
All right. So my number five.
Such punch.
Number five, and this isn't exactly a bad movie. I actually liked. I actually liked the original, but I can see, you know, there are some elements of it that needs to be changed, and that's Spawn. Spawn definitely needs a remake. I did like
it. Needs a
hey, but John Leguizamo again. What's up, John? What's going on, Legs? Anyway, but you know, he was actually, I loved him as the clown, but that first go around being PG-13, pretty much getting away from everything that Todd McFarlane built so hard, especially not including characters like Cable, things like Cable who? Cable.
What Cable? And
Cable and Spawn.
Cable had nothing to do with Spawn.
Cable? Are you kidding me? And you call yourself a Spawn fan?
Cable didn't have anything to do with Spawn.
Cable was in Spawn. He fought with Al Simmons in the war, remember? And he comes back, he's got the cross. Chapel, Cable, whatever. That guy. Anyway,
You're talking to a guy who is a Spawn fanatic.
You said it's Chapel. Chapel, Cable, upside down, same crap. Anyway, but that one definitely deserved a remake. Absolutely, definitely deserves a remake. Number 4, you might not agree with me on this one, but Demons. Dario Argento's Demons, and I actually have that on my top 5 horror.
I don't think I've actually even seen it. I think I made that comment last time. I've never seen Demons.
Dario Argento's Demons is absolutely freaking awesome. I mean, the effects for its day, I mean, yeah, if you look at it now, you're going to say, oh man, that's horrible, but it's actually really good. And if they get the same type of effects and makeup that they did for the remake of Evil Dead, that's a hell of a movie right there. And, you know, I mean, what creepier, I mean, I work in a movie theater, but there are elements of a movie theater, you're in the dark, you don't know what's going on, so anything can happen. If you've ever seen an American Werewolf in London, there's a scene in the movie theater, you know, it's pretty, there's some scary stuff in there sometimes, you know.
If we get Sam Raimi to do it,
that would be awesome. Unless he tries to go Drag Me to Hell with it a little bit, you know, because that was a good movie too, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so
too much CGI.
Definitely Demons. If you haven't seen the original, check it out. Number 3, Tango and Cash.
That's not a bad movie. You gave me crap about Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Tango and Cash is a good movie.
Tango and Cash
is a great movie.
Listen, Tango and Cash was good. It was okay, but it had way too many freaking one-liners. I mean, it was like...
It was the age of one-liners.
It doesn't matter. I would like to see Tango and Cash remade with The Rock as Tango and Stone Cold Steve Austin as Cash. That would be awesome.
WWE Studios?
Yeah, no WWE Studios. I'm pretty sure The Rock's got connections now. So definitely that remake with those 2 guys in those roles would be freaking awesome. I don't know who would play Jack Palance's role. I don't know who would play Jack Palance's role, but that, regardless, that would be such a... Do you minus... So wait, you minus some things out, like those freaking one-liners.
So wait, is The Rock Stallone or Kurt Russell?
He would be Stallone.
He'd be Stallone.
He's Tango. Does Austin look like a Tango or does he look like a Cash?
I'm not even considering Austin being in this movie.
No, hell yeah, he would be awesome. He would be awesome. Forget it. All right, so that was fun. Now, okay, you're definitely not gonna agree on this one. Number 2, The Big Hit.
The Big Hit?
The Big Hit with Marky Mark, freaking Bokeem Woodbine.
Oh God,
God. Okay, now.
Okay, yeah, that's not a good movie.
No, it's not that good of a movie. Now, but the premise is awesome. When you have these 4 assassins that do this plan of kidnapping a rich man's daughter or whatever, and it turns out to be their boss's goddaughter. So if he sent the freaking assassins to go after all 4 guys, not just freaking Marky Mark, all 4 guys and they had to fight all these different assassins, that would be an awesome movie. You take out the freaking beat-off element that freaking Bokeem Woodbine's always talking about beating off all the time, and you take out the freaking stupid King Kong Lives, your videos overdue crap. If you take and then Marky Mark being a complete loser to freaking Christina Applegate, you take out all of that crap.
So basically just give me a new movie.
Exactly. But the same premise.
A new movie with the same title.
Exactly.
If you take out all that crap, which is basically what that movie was.
Right. That's what I mean.
Just write me a new movie and just put that title on it.
But the premise of the movie is awesome.
Give me another assassin movie and call it the Big.
I mean, dude,
do everything except all of the movie.
Hey, do all of it, but completely different. So that was my number 2.
Oh my God.
My number 1, and you are definitely going to agree with me on this one. My number 1 is The Game of Death by Bruce Lee
No!
Listen.
I'm not going to agree with that.
Just listen to me.
Are we going to CGI Bruce?
No, listen to me. Just listen to me. Now, The Game of Death, you have these gangsters and this and that against Bruce Lee. He accidentally gets shot. He comes blah, blah, blah. But the story was decent. It had so many good elements, but Bruce Lee died. He shot the ending first. So the rest of it he didn't do.
Right.
So you had a different actor. You had cutouts of Bruce Lee's picture over the actor's face like a mask.
That was so funny.
And then you had a lot of scenes from previous Hong Kong movies that they integrated in certain scenes that actually
they were determined to finish that.
Yeah, they were determined to finish it. So they used all this stuff on it, and Bruce Lee wasn't even there. So that's why I said you get the same actor. Hopefully you don't die in it, but you get the same actor like Donnie Yen or one of the guys from The Raid or freaking Tony Jaa or somebody like that to start the movie from start to finish and bring back the iconic yellow and black. I know Uma did it in Kill Bill, but still bring it back and have it exactly the same way. Level, different styles. That's amazing.
I see Donnie Yen so different from Bruce though to do it.
Well, you know, he did.
And I know
he did train him. He was at Mon.
I know Jet Li did Fist of Legend, and you know that was almost blasphemy when I heard that one. But I love that movie, so I guess it can be done if they do it right. If they do it right.
Yes.
I mean, Game of Death, even though it wasn't finished, is so more iconic than Chinese Connection.
You are out your mind.
It is.
Best Hong Kong movie.
All right, okay, tell me what he wore in Chinese Connection.
He wore his suit. He wore his gi.
Yeah, what color was it?
It was brown. I watched that movie religiously, trust me.
But we all know. All right, okay.
Brown and black.
Okay.
Brown and black one.
Yes, okay, you probably would know that. But somebody on the street, they tell me what Bruce wore in Game of Death, whether they've seen it or not. They're already gonna know it was the yellow. It was the yellow
jump. It doesn't matter. But do you see my point though?
But it's like it's so iconic to Bruce Lee.
If you get one actor to do all that, I mean, that's just the same actor to go through the whole movie and then do it without the cutouts and all that, and he does it.
Obviously, they're not gonna do that.
It's a freaking awesome. It'd be an awesome movie. It's a great premise. I would love to, and to hear the freaking the song. This is
up there with remaking Crow.
Oh. But they are remaking Crow.
I mean, but they didn't do Eric Draven Crow. It's like they can't do it.
No, but they're gonna remake.
Oh no, they killed that though. They already killed that idea. Everybody pulled out of it.
Anyway,
everybody pulled out of this movie because nobody wants to do this movie.
What you doing?
Nobody should want to do Game of Death. Nobody.
Game of Death.
Nobody. Unless we're Hologram Man, Bruce Lee. If we're doing, I want Marvel, age reducing CGI technology.
We're gonna get Michael Douglas to play Bruce Lee.
Ant-Man technology, Tony Stark being 21 years old technology. I want all that. I like my list.
My list was awesome on Kerry. We want to hear yours. What bad movies need to be remade? They don't necessarily have to be bad, but what movies do you want to see be remade, maybe even better? Put your comments on the bottom.
Oh my God.
You're a loser. Terrence, take us home.
All right. Okay. I think this episode ran probably a little bit long. So if you guys are still here with us, make sure that you like, you comment, and you subscribe, because we get it obviously on our social media, which is actually really, really picking up for us on Facebook and on Twitter. You guys definitely let us know things about the show and about what you liked, and especially when you talk about the top fives. But comment on the video so that way people who don't actually go to our social media sites, you can have the conversation with them. Like I said, I will always put in my comments or acknowledge what you guys put in that we miss it, because you guys do come up with some things that I didn't think about. Other than that, make sure you subscribe as always, so that way you know about new videos that come out. And if it's your first time making it to this video, welcome, and I hope to get to see you a little bit after this.
Awesome. Look for Terrence to actually show up on another show next week. What's that called?
Next week I'll be on Geek Out SA, so hopefully you guys see me on there, and hopefully some people from Geek Out SA will come in and join us, hopefully. We'll see.
Absolutely.
And I can tell right now, because they're a little bit more reserved than we are here on this show, so hopefully I don't get too out of hand. And but you can see me run amok on that show next week. I'll put a link when it comes out, so that way you guys can actually check out their video as well.
For Aspen in the back, I'm Manny.
Terrence.
And that was the goods. Anyway. This is freaking. Oh, can I get a department store credit card for third time?
For third time? That credit cards?
The limit's like $10. That's all you need.
Hey, you just got approved for $10. You can buy the whole store. Not necessarily. Was it like a Tommy Bahama shirt?
Just one person, but just true story.